on this attacking side. Cloud9 to defend.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the Viper. There's just so much.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to consider. Normally you see Viper Harbor being played, but instead, Jake's still sticking with his Omen. Insta B hit here from KRU. And once again, it's gonna be a full 5v5 retake that you're seeing fast from Cloud9 here. The Trailblazer comes in, the Paranoia as well. They could easily start to tap this early.
I didn't think they were going to commit to this, but they flash out. They want to take the fight. They're going to push out mid. Holy smokes, Jake!
He's midair.
That was gross.
And they're sticking. No, they're sticking.
What?
And it's another 1v3 from Leaf on the pistol too.
Okay, Sky, get us to a good
Just
position.
ridiculous. And that's because of that speed. The fact that they're able to get half before KRU is even really set up to start to challenge back against the defuse is crazy fast.
All of that while he's getting it to half, Jake is flying across the screen, getting ghost kills and whatnot. It was just such a chaotic moment, but you can tell the intention was there for Cloud9. As soon as the spike went down, they decided they wanted to flood, they wanted to fight mid, and it works out for them.
And it's gonna be really interesting to see how this double Sentinel comp actually is able to fight through and look for picks on this attacking side.
It's interesting too, I didn't think they were going to commit to that B hit because Davies was lurking up A short by himself.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to rotate back, but this time,
fast pop.
Same position taken, but they want to go here.
I like the star placement to allow them to go out many different ways, but there's literally a Viper Orb on that same exact position.
And Zelz is playing inside of it. Oh, I thought he was going to get all three.
Just ridiculous. That's what got them punished on Pro quite a few times, and they're trying to flash through walls or smokes. In this case, Celsius does a great job. That one is a lot harder to expect. You're gonna go through two smokes, really?
Last player standing.
I have to see momentum shift fast for Cloud9 here. Obviously, they got a few rounds going in their favor on the last map after getting dominated in that first half. But it has to start on map 3. If we want this to stymie KRU any little bit. We talked a lot about on the desk how KRU hasn't really played this map, how it's going to be difficult for them to capitalize, but I actually do think that KRU is the ones who have to think a little bit harder here, because this is, I mean, this is very difficult. Obviously, you're prepped to play this composition, but it's still, when, again, Cloud9 is also throwing a curveball at you, it's still so difficult.
Right.
You have to be surgical with the way that you're working these picks. By Davies, by Kesnet.
The last two bonuses we've watched have been converted.
I like this setup here. Out of KRU, despite the fact that it's going 1-for-1 and Davies actually falls, the fact that they're trying to get him into Cubby here with the TP back there is really, really important, because that's a very powerful position, especially later on when he starts getting an op up maybe on this attack as well. Look at this re-clear for Cloud9 right now.
They're going to be able to walk right past this alarm bot too. This Davies is dead, so they're going to find plenty of space. The thing is, Nags has considered that as well, so he put down an alarm bot of his own.
Secondary one right there, exactly.
Yeah. How are they going to get past that? Well, they just cleared out. And that's going to raise the alarms. Nags turning around, waiting for Leaf, cleans him up. And are you expecting to? Because right now, Jake is in a really good position to make a play.
Spike planted.
Just trying to bait him in there. Look at this, they're both out right now, backside. Jake does a great job just waiting for that push back up from Nags.
And you expect him to try to be pacey in that situation, but it's going to be all on Jake to clean this up by himself. A flash in his face, the turn is there, and 3 swing. He only takes down 1 as KRU get on the board.
Even that 1 kill's important there, though. Yeah, he's definitely dead in that situation when he gets flashed up in a triple swing. However, only 2 remain. And the anti-bonus from KRU there, it's going to be difficult for them to even find weapons for them. Meanwhile, Cloud9's economy is perfect.
One enemy remaining.
Given those first 2 rounds, quite clean.
Right back into the action. Klaus has the Seekers online. You see the op in the hands of Leaf.
And Leaf is really interested to challenge that position that Davies just took against him, where he won the fight. He's hiding the op for quite some time here. All this A lobby control is all going on. Multiple stars placed as well to condition towards C.
Leaf's going hunting. He's going exploring.
It just disrespects it all. That's crazy.
puts himself in a position, too, where he can still get away. There's still safety in where he is. Not to mention you have Rooney relatively close by.
And again, Davies pushed up in a deep position, down short. He's waiting for a re-clear, which happened in the prior 2 rounds from Cloud9. This is very similar to the pistol, just a lot slower here. Davies was looking for this lurk on this A side.
Blinded.
We do have Klaus popping the Seekers, trying to entry into this B.
Great timing on the flat from Zeppa to get some info because it had been a desolate few moments.
Spike planted.
This is a crazy approach right now. Both the Sentinels holding flanks while the rest of the team hits the site. That makes their hit a lot weaker. Cloud9 need to recognize that. Either way, they're going for this fast push again. It's much slower, though, than the pistol. They're not getting that half immediately.
And KRU is so far off site here. They have no intentions of having this be a brawl, at least early on. They want to make Cloud9 come to them, and they're going to have to. Klaus is going to go unchecked. And the gravity wall was there. It was so well set up. But Jake cleans him up anyway.
Not even close to half here.
Rooney made an attempt at it, instantly had to cancel. KRU played this beautifully. Rooney has no choice but to save the op.
Toxins going up.
And the fact that Leaf goes for that push early, and the fact that Davies and the player Grass, Nags in this instance, are holding the flanks makes it so difficult for you to get anything. That's why this 1-3-1 hold works well for KRU. Cloud9 need to stop this because otherwise it's going to be really hard to fight back without multiple considerations and shifts in the Viper wall, the orb, how they're actually holding that B site down. Because you can't allow that. When that B site comes down and they go for full post plan like that, you need flanks. And if there's 2 Sentinels watching them, that's a really nice game plan from KRU activated so far early in this half.
Different Viper wall out from Rooney this time. Again, to help shore up some of the problems that they've had on B.
That's a great start placement to try to punish Leaf, but he still gets value out of the op right now.
Thought he had lined up for a collat there for just a second. Holding this tiny angle. But it doesn't look like there's going to be challenge. KRU, after having lost their chamber, decide to rotate back. And they're going to have to navigate this Viper wall that we were just talking about. Viper wall that covers down too long, that covers Garage, although it's already been disrespected by Nags.
I mean, this is just a complete adjustment based off of the fact that they're hitting that B site. And it's actually going to get circumvented, and now it's a useless wall.
And they do it by contact. They're quiet the whole time up. Rooney is a classic here, but he's not going to get challenged. You see the first smoke come through.
And there's a difference here. They're not looking for that post plant down C-Long, nothing like that. Instead, they put 2 stars to hold on to the site. So coming through spawn is going to be really difficult. They're not looking for grav wells to get off the spike. Instead, they're trying to delay them and come out.
I mean, there's really no easy way to get in. You can't really get in through spawn. You can't get in through Garage. But Jake invests the ult anyway, and now he's going to drop the paranoia, and they want to try to funnel out. Leaf has blades. Nano clearing out backside. The blades have to be good, and they just weren't.
One enemy remaining.
I think that's it. My ult's ready.
An attempt and a good one from Cloud9, despite everything that KRU did being very nice. They still get 3 players down on that eco. But they do lose the op. Remember, Leaf started off with that. And with all the players falling, they don't carry that over. It's actually just sitting on the ground in the back of sight right there on the replay.
You see a fired up KRU as we enter this timeout. And so far, it's delivered. I mean, we've talked about Viper walls. Chamber, we haven't really seen a ton of.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Right.
trying to push him up into some nice positions to hold.
Yeah.
And to maybe look for some picks on some reclears, which is Chamber's specialty. He's really good at fighting, even despite some trap plays being sprung. A lot of times you actually use Chamber specifically for that. He's definitely been hurt quite a bit with the changes to him over the year. Obviously, we don't see him very often. We're only starting to see him come back in the meta right now.
I mean, he was rendered irrelevant for a long time.
He had like 2 picks in all of the international leagues, regular seasons and playoffs, so.
And if I'm not mistaken, they all came at the very end,
Yeah,
right?
from Loud
Loud.
playoffs.
Yeah.
And I mean, the changes to him are the ult is better now. It was a snail pace shot before. Now it's back up to, you know, on par with the op. The TP didn't change at all. It's still very small, very restricted. The big change is the trademark that trip, you could be really far away, much farther away from it than you could before. In comparison to last year, where it was completely global.
Klaus has had himself a field day on Haven so far. And for as much as we've talked about Kesnet and Chamber and all this other stuff, once again, we find ourselves in a position where the start from KRU comes from an unexpected position.
Yeah. And Klaus does have Seekers up again, right? 2 and 6 rounds, averaging 1 every 3.
That's crazy.
I've got your
Want to go B, and they're going to push into some of this utility. There you see the Seekers that were just cleared out. Kesnet takes the high ground. And maybe, yeah, they use Elsis's lockdown for an attempt at a retake here.
This might be nadeable here, but no, Kesnet's gonna get off, and he has the showstopper to get back in this. 2 stars already on the spike. They've got mollies as well.
Leaf has dashed his way forward so aggressively. There it is, showstopper on. Is it gonna connect? It does, onto Zeppa. 5v3 in favor of KRU.
Consistently hitting those where others are missing.
Leaf having to make a big play here, and they're gonna swing into 4. They've got the smoke to cover one side, and they've cleaned them up. But KRU with the counter punch, leaving Rooney alone, and he falls as well. Out of the timeout, KRU win another round.
Recalling my bot.
These attack sides
Everyone
in the
note
last
down your
2 maps
observations,
have
then
been
press run.
really nice from KRU. Not only withstanding the pressure from Cloud9's Ecos, but also making these gun rounds look so good. And that's such a far cry from what we saw on Ascent. Just perfect. From Cloud9 to that instance, they only won 2 gun rounds, KRU did. What a shift in momentum, what a shift in form. They've absolutely woken up.
Yeah, we've got something cooking on our hands here.
Hawk out.
We thought after the first map that it was for all intents and purposes over. I think even after the second map, we thought, oh, okay, maybe it's an anomaly. Cloud9 will punch their way back in, but this KRU team just continues to surprise.
And look at this again. Leaf is trying to get aggressive on the flanks, but it's just covered, even when the fact that KRU is literally hitting the C side at that point.
Look at how much the Sentinels are doing damage here. You've got the trademark, or the alarm bot, excuse me, out from Killjoy, who's handing out an A main. You've got grass covered, and you have a turret across mid.
Yep.
For
All
as
three
much
of these
as
pieces of util are just so good at just protecting and keeping map control.
And for as much as we've talked about the Sentinels controlling the extremities, right, as they want to hit B, now you see a total flip where all of the utilities across mid and they can focus on the outside.
Oh, Jake just got spammed too by Melzer off of a jump spot. And they'll speed their way back over to the C side. And Rooney still has his wall up. This is a really nice retake wall. But they clear the back of sight. Zeppet's going for a play. They're flooding out Garage.
They just don't have the guns to do this, man. They just don't.
It's very rare that that sort of play from Cloud9 does not net a single kill on either of the people trying to flood. Instead, KRU soar up to 5 in a row now. And we have to start pointing out, I mean, this attack side has been so good from them once we got on the Pearl. On Pearl, they didn't lose a single post plant, remember. I mean, they won all rounds on their attack side, so naturally that makes sense. That follows. Here, they're already up to what, like 4 post plants?
Yeah.
Only lost the pistol in that instance. Just crazy.
This is now the 3rd or 4th variation of the wall we see out from Rooney, this time focused towards mid, but that's another opener for Kesnet for as cold of a start as he had. And really lukewarm of a series as he's had.
Yeah.
This is where it feels like he's starting to click.
And you did see there an attempt for Leaf to go aggressive and also the Omen flash to come through. That's something that you can do a lot with the breach comps that everybody used to run.
Fault line, yeah, absolutely.
All that sort of thing it's really nice, but in this case, Leaf is ahead and the paranoia doesn't get much. Jake doesn't have the time to follow up. You want somebody else there with him.
And look at this discipline out from KRU.
It's really, I mean, this double Sentinel comp is forcing Cloud9 to get antsy. And that's not what you want to see from them. And I don't want to see continued hero play attempts from Leaf where he dies very early. Because even if you get that space, it's not gaining you anything against all these different passive utility out from KRU.
They're going to push their way into B once again, and you see the Sentinels. The plan is still the same, but this time, Zelsa seems to be able to hold them back. The Spike's sitting on the other side of the wall, on the other side of the smoke.
Here.
A little bit of an error there from KRU, thinking that they can get through with that boom bot, but instead, they didn't really consider the change that this makes once this Viper wall has been shifted over here.
This is brutal. There are no flashes to pop out of. There's no nothing. You just have to take this dry, and you're done. There's no way through that.
This Viper wall is going to be really key going forward on this B site. And after that timeout, you've got to have that sort of insistence there from this Cloud9 team. You have to continue to be diligent on that too. You have to have util to stop that B hit. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in that post punt that's really, really strange.
We'll take a look at it one more time. Zelce is holding the line there, which is beautiful.
Vulnerable. 2 players there from him.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
One enemy remaining.
Final cross as well. Perfect.
Just walking into a firing range there.
We're into it. Tour de Force ups right now. They're going to dash again. There's the flash. Same thing.
So aggressive!
What is that?
Leaf with 3. The flash as he tucks into the cloudburst, looking for the 4th to put him away, and he does.
And that's what they're looking for. That's why they're continuing to play aggressive.
And you know, we were having this conversation in the previous round about Leaf making hero plays and things like that, but if you need your star to come online, to catch fire, that's the type of play that makes it happen.
And for them to go for that twice in a row, by the way,
Yeah.
my goodness. Cloud9 are the masters of this A aggression. I was wondering how it's going to continue to happen here without the same level of util available to them with this composition. Instead, it's just still beautiful. And they've gotten themselves right back into this game.
As much doom and gloom as it looked like, you're right. And it looks like they're going back to this 1-3-1, where they're able to work the middle of the map. But again, this Viper wall out from Rooney that you pointed out 2 rounds ago makes a big difference. You see the attempt from Kesney to clear out some of this Killjoy utility with the satchel, and it's not connecting. It was just a bit short.
Yeah, just trying to break the alarm bot. Alarm bot's not even there. Big omen ult for info here for Jake. Spots nothing down C-Long. Maybe he's trying to set himself up in garage here. Meanwhile, Trailblazer coming in. At the same time, Trailblazer coming out
Oh,
from the B push. Zelsis is turned up.
Davies was fully tethered there. He had
You should run.
the TP to get out from it. He's not able to do anything with it. Meanwhile, the lockdown invested from the attacking side.
Oh,
But it leaves some gaps.
Leaf has a gap in long, too. This is crazy. You never expect this. He might have made noise, though.
Even if he did, it doesn't matter. Klaus, though, cleans
Hello? Hello? Oh, my goodness.
Dead. He's so stuck. Klaus with 2 big kills there. Now Seeker's used the 3v3 here. Spike does manage to go down. How do Cloud9 burst their way back into this? You have Zelsis, seems to be the tip of the spear. He's made a couple of big plays so far. Kazna with the satchel. Zelsis is dead. Just 2 remain, and it quickly turns into 1. Rooney in a 1v3. Kesney and Klaus both weak. There's still so much to do here for Rooney, for the Viper, who's weak himself. No one dare challenge, no one dare swing. There's the first, waiting for it. Klaus gets a 4K to get KRU to 6.
And at this point, they make it on site, they win the round. And I actually thought Cloud9 had some pretty useful tools there. They still had that Viper Orb online, they still had the flashes as well to try to deal with this pressure coming in. But again, a risk being taken there by both Leaf and Zeppa. Zeppa thought he had a little cubby there out of the lockdown. But slightly misplays it.
The KRU fan base has shown up in a big way through this LCQ run. Not just here in Santa Monica, but around the world. Find themselves up 2 rounds, but Leaf with the potential to play spoiler here. Oh, he saw that. He's just not going to get an angle, though.
And he TP'd off of it. Clearly heard it, though. So should make some adjustment here from Cloud9's up, but just jiggling.
He only has a
For
stinger.
recall star, and that forces actually a flash out. Might end up popping Seekers at some point to confirm. No, the Cosmic Divide is enough for it. There's the Seekers. They're going to fight back with a flash.
They're staying in front of the Cosmic Divide here. They want to take the fight to
Nade
KRU.
in the back of sight. Oh, cast it with the ult, too.
Is he going to find anything? He does on
Of
his
course it does.
The guy just doesn't miss his ults. Zeppa's not finding anything with the stinger either. You wonder here if it's just going to be a call for a save. That seems to be the case. Leaf has already turned tail.
Ernie's looking for some sort of mistake here. And it's funny because, yeah, normally Cloud9 is really doing some damage in these moments. He needed to save that. Leaf does have knives, but economically they're hurting. And yeah, I'm curious now. I mean, thinking back towards that stinger, Celsius has 1.8K. Potentially could have upgraded something else there for Zeppa. And now we're heading into the final round of the half too, so.
And if you're lucky, Cloud9, you get to keep that op, because it seems like they're looking for Leaf.
Remember on Pearl, that massive round where they took down all 3 guns leading into this final round.
Last round before the switch.
So what do they have here? They have the op, and I think I saw the purchase for 1. But their buy can't be great.
Just disgusting round from Kesnet.
What do you have, 3 on the round there?
Yeah. The showstopper to start. Everything works out really nicely for him. Leaf is going to take this angle, much like we saw from Zeppa in the last round. Just hold this down and get the information on whether they're crossing, but it's not going to be an aggro play, nothing like that.
It's just going to be a smoke, and Davies is already ahead of it.
Oh, wow.
He tucks behind the recalled smoke.
Yeah.
Finds a timing window.
All the way down. And this is the same position he's always played in. Look at the TP, though. He's actually being able to get back in towards this beat and hit the post plant fast. They've got to hold on to it.
This is the pistol once again. The paranoia from Jake. He still gets cleaned up.
2 HP from the
This is really nice pressure out from Cloud9, though, as they try to take Garage, try to pinch in and corral what KRU have.
Yeah, that turret was normally watching, and they've broken it. Which means that flank is available, that avenue is available to AVs against Leaf.
Stop, this close is gonna be a problem, but the shorty is not. They've kept it competitive, they've kept it interesting, and they still have a shot in this round. And they're gonna be pushing in towards C, where really nobody is. Zeppa's the only one who's close by, and he has 2 HP.
And those mollies, that alarm bot, that turret, everything is disabled right now. Zelsis is already dead.
Rooney has the pit, but he's really not in a position to make a play with it.
No. Absolutely not, and KRU has been focused on playing on sites when it comes to the C post plant.
They're both down already. Rooney swings out, and he's done. An 8-4 half for KRU.
That is a fantastic half.
Sides.
After losing the pistol, these sort of things are not what we saw in some of these prior matches, so KRU looking fantastic.
Well, actually, you have Van Silly, who's standing by with 2 special guests here in the arena. We'll see what they think about what's going on.
Thank you so much, Doug and Bala. Indeed, I'm joined here with Vanity and the Guard's very own Net. Make some noise. Come on, it's so quiet in here. Vanity, first off, I mean, you've been doing an excellent job at the desk. Now you get to stream here in the Riot Games Arena. What's the experience like?
Pretty insane.
Yeah?
I mean, this is my first time in the studio during a game, so even yesterday I didn't get to hear it, so I mean, the crowd's pretty crazy.
Help me make sense of this game right now. What the hell's going on with Cloud9?
Nobody can explain this, bro. Like, look at I don't know, man. Nothing makes sense.
Well, at least now you're actually going to be joining the big boys. Congratulations, by the way, on winning Ascension with the Guard.
Thank you.
Hands together for the Guard. What's that experience been like for you in Brazil?
It's been surreal. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh yeah, it's been surreal. All the fans in Brazil were great. The crowd was great. I was just thankful. I was just thankful to be a pro.
Okay, well now we have C9 that's currently losing in this series, right? And they're actually using your composition for the Guard. And if I remember the stats that I looked at Ascension for the Guard, you had like an 80% win rate closely here in Brazil to qualify and qualify, of course, to the VCTs, of course.
Yeah.
So give us some hopium right now as to what's going to be the key success factors for Cloud9 on the attack.
Honestly speaking, I think that this comp is very attack-sided. Even for us, every game we played, we just said, guys, we have to at least just get 4 or 5 rounds on defense, and then because the attack for this comp is very easy, just because once you get to the bomb site, the Viper makes it very easy to close out rounds, just because you have the orb, the walls, the mollies paired with Killjoy. So realistically, if you like burn the clock enough, you should be able to win post plants pretty easily.
And quickly, do you see any weaknesses on the attack with this composition as an IGL here, Vanity?
I mean, I think the Viper comp is like really good against the standard breach comp, but KRU pulled something out of the hat, bro. So, I mean, I think C9 has a good chance to come back. They need pistol. I think that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm hoping that my friends win, but this ain't looking too good.
Looks like we still got some crew team here no matter what, under the breath here of Vanity. So let's toss it back here to Doug and Bala for the conclusion of the series.
Thank you so much, fellas. Yeah, I think it all comes down to this pistol here, because you don't win this pistol, crew likely find themselves up 10-4, and maybe that's where the comp plays the difference, but that's a massive hole to dig yourself out of.
Yeah, and I completely agree with Ned in terms of getting the Viper on site. He can easily put down an orb and molly in spawn on this A site, but what they didn't talk about was the fact that there's 2 sentinels on the side of crew right now.
Well, you see the trap setup already. Look at that.
Nade grab well.
And there are 4 who are pinching in. They're just on the other side of the smoke.
Denies it, yeah. I mean, they're going to walk up into
There's no pop flash on the other side of it. There's no nothing. They just take the fight. And of course, it's 2 controllers who walk away with 2 kills.
Oh, Zeppa, those frenzies for him, man. It's always getting one.
How does Kesnet still get another there?
And Davies was just locking down the rest of the map, by the way. Just the KJ util on B, and then Davies on C. Everybody else towards the A side, and somehow, someway, Cloud9, despite losing the first 2, come out on top, and the dog spots him.
I thought there may have been a window there for Davies to tuck up into stairs and avoid the Trailblazer, but he gets spotted, and then the flash in his face too, and then you're going to have to face 2 players from crew.
And the frenzy of Zeppa just doesn't lose in these corners too up close.
Yeah. Although that is an ominous thing to say. It does not. It was Rooney who cleaned him up. He gets 4 on the round to get Cloud9 the pistol.
That's super important. But also remember, Cloud9 ended up winning that pistol in the first half. The fact that that nade grab laid them for so long, because they're trying to use that smoke to get through short really fast, and that's why you think you see them go through it anyways. They stick with the plan, and it does work out eventually.
Time to mobilize my pack.
Crew decided to buy 2 marshals.
Yeah, and they're stacking C. What is this? Same star plays, same smoke plays from Cloud9, but no nade, so that's just a big tell right now.
This is unique.
And Melzer is blindly placing a star on A to continue to keep some question in Cloud9's mind about what the heck is going on right now without that nade.
After the crew huddle on C, they disperse. You have 2 rotating through spawn, but then you have a 3-player flank. Coming in from the attacking side, the turret should spot what's going on here.
They might get a smoke here, though, waiting for maybe Melzer to come back up, so they're going to try to get around it, but they're going to... It just got pulled away. It just got pulled away, and now the smoke is gone, so they can't use it for the retake, and they also can't get through the alarm bot anyways.
Now, timing on that is insane. You see the nade trying to cause problems, and it did delay the plan for just a moment. But Jake retakes the position. There's the alarm bot that we were just talking about. Zealous is waiting on the other side, understanding there's prey to be had. You got Rooney, who's playing down from A-Long with a Stinger, no less, but still in a position to deal some damage. Has the Ghost to work with as well. They've gotten past the first, but this is taking so much time.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It's gotten interesting. Leaf getting healed up. He still has a Guardian too, and they're both playing backside. You see the flash up from Zeppa. Pre-fire from Davies. Concerned of the swing that just never comes.
Any damage done here? Be nice for Davies. He already took down one crucial one. They let him cross, though. Gets away with it. And Cloud9 narrow the deficit just a little bit. And they also maintain the bonus option here. 3 players stayed alive, so this is definitely going to be committing to that. And crew. Big opportunity here, this anti-bonus. But they've got to stop with the stacking. This is something we've seen in both of these. Sure, pistol, eco, you can go for some gambles. That's 100% possible. But now, again, there's 4 people committed to the other side of the map. Only the Sky on A, which is absolutely fine. This is a regular setup now. No gambles happening.
See how Crew set up defensively. They have so much presence towards B, not just via utility, but they have 2 players hanging out there as well.
I really like what Davies is actually doing with this turret and garage. He's peeking off the turret, and he has this TP to actually get out, so can go for one early kill.
He's covered his flanks. He gets the early kill. doesn't instantly teleport out. He's still playing around this. Now playing outside of his tether. Jake dead, and Meltzer's causing problems from Platt.
And look, the trademark actually finds value too.
Hey. Huge round out from Meltzer.
We finally see a straight up execute and fight here from Cloud9, and it gets absolutely demolished by KRU.
I mean, a flawless round to keep the pace, to stay up 3, to potentially qualify for the grand finals. I be honest with you, I can't believe I'm saying that.
That's ridiculous. From 0-8 to now 3 series wins in a row and going on potentially the 4th. It's crazy. Crazy to consider. But you can see how much damage that trip did right there. Everybody's fighting at the same time, so nobody has room to break that. And you also have to think about the fact that there's actually no real util that you can use to break some of those early trips. So back into the round right now. It's going to be tough here for Cloud9 to really approach anywhere on the map without first trying to figure out exactly what the Sentinel util is.
And there's just so much to consider.
They don't have that much time. They don't have that many rounds to really experiment with it.
No.
So maybe they just send it through it and it actually works out.
The Paranoia covers off the left side of B, and then the Trailblazer go in 2. So they've gotten some semblance of control, but this doesn't feel secure.
No plant yet. They also have a Cosmic Divide for the retake, and you're looking at Melzer flirting with the possibility of going for a flank through Garage.
Meanwhile, you see Rooney considering the flank potentially towards A, but that's not where it's coming from. They've got the turret out from Zelsys to consider that side from Garage, but I think if Rooney's going to make a play here on A, he's got to be pacey about it.
And they can't get off the site right now.
No, they're stuck.
They're giving up behind the Cosmic Divide right now.
Perhaps realizing that it's going to dissipate here soon, but Rooney's flank is covered.
With the flank pressure too from Melzer, there's no way you can get back at fighting through this Cosmic Divide. Zelsys is going to make an attempt at it, but beautiful round from KRU.
And a bloody massacre for Cloud9. Everything so well considered.
I want to see Cloud9 right now really start to push the tempo up towards this A side instead, where the Sentinel utility is much less considered. It's where they've had success so far. Because the setup normally here from KRU is only the Sky playing in that direction.
Scary situation for Cloud9. They find themselves down 4 in this map 3. And I think the scarier thing is as you look at the members, the faces of the members of KRU, they're calm. It's not emotional, it's not very high, it's very collected.
Blinded.
That's the look of a team who fully understands what's before them and what they need to do to close it out. But maybe Cloud9 have a counterpunch here off of Zelsys' lockdown.
They just continue to invest in rounds that are low percentage. And they've definitely, I mean, gone back to maybe the average in terms of eco round win rate. But they're still making these sort of plays, making these investments. Zelsys with the lockdown here.
Yeah, it reminds me of the series yesterday.
But this is crucial, right? Rooney has this molly still. They definitely have exactly what Net was talking about at halftime. About delaying the push back into it. And there's going to be a lot of people trying to get in from KRU. Can they break through?
They've gotten onto the site, they've gotten the spike down, and there you see in that exact moment, you highlighted it a few rounds ago, there's the focus, there's the dump of utility. Look at Zeppo playing on the inside of that smoke too, popping a flash, it's all delay, 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 delay. How does KRU get back in? Just like that, I guess they've been able to get 2 big kills. Jake looking up into the heavens to see if he can take one down with him, but no, he falls.
Spam is missing, no way!
Axie's gonna get it the whole way. There's nothing Rooney can do here. Gets the kills, but it does not matter. The round is done. KRU get to 11.
How in the world did KRU just pull that off? They got delayed until they had to immediately get on the spike as they got on the site. That is just ridiculous.
And that was the circumstance, that was the condition that we felt like was necessary for Cloud9 to win rounds.
Yeah, and remember they invested. They killed your lockdown.
Yeah.
To get in that position, they thought it's a given. And it all falls apart. Maybe because of the weaker weaponry. And now Cloud9 have put themselves in a position where it's 2 rounds to go here for KRU.
And up in the hands of Davies. But once again, focus on this fight mid. This has the potential for danger once more, but Nags does eventually take one. You see this ping-ponging of kills back and forth.
Your trail.
It's just crazy. Zeppa pops the Seekers though. Kesnet has an opportunity to maybe try to get through it.
He has Showstopper. He has 2 satchels. And he delays the plant for just a moment, but what can Zeppa do?
Oh, gosh.
His timing here is huge.
Remaining.
Gets 1 kill, still 1 more to be found. Davies up close with the op.
You got the stun.
He's been spotted, switches over. Much more of a mid-range weapon. Still has so much to do before him. The alarm bot gonna give his position away. The double face! And Davies takes him down!
All the harassment that just occurred. The flashes from Zeppa. The Trailblazer into the alarm bot still. They swing off of it. And he hits the Red Bull clutch to put KRU on match point. What a crazy moment. Out from Davies the chamber. And it's starting to be smiles right now. They're back up on the match point. They had quite a few on Pearl.
They have 5 ults. They have everything they could possibly want here.
5 ults, 2 timeouts.
The amount of, as we look towards the crowd after that Davies clutch, the amount of hands that were covering mouths. I mean, just pure disbelief. I can't believe what I've seen either.
I can't believe the series we're seeing. I mean, especially after what we just saw on Ascent earlier, an hour ago. Then what we see, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Huh?
Big same.
So many question marks. We saw a stomp from Cloud9 on map 1 on KRU's map pick. Then we saw a potential 13-0 from KRU to come back into this. That's not to mention everything that KRU has gotten to get to this point. Right here, right now. A birth to the grand finals. A birth to something special. A birth to another potential miracle run here from KRU is very possible as they make their way forward and through Cloud9. Still not over just yet. And again, Cloud9 really trying to focus now over towards the safe side, but Davies has done such a good adjustment. He's actually started to opt through this and also put the trademark on, but misses the shot and loses that position early. The thing is, there's 2 players still here for KRU.
And Davies has taken the space back.
Showstopper out.
He refills. There's the Seekers. Seek Hesitant looking for something.
Off the air.
But the smoke is what's keeping him back, so they're going to rotate off of this.
And Jake didn't even get the TP off. If he got that, maybe they have the C site to rotate into now. They're struggling. They're scrambling.
They've been thrown into disarray, and Melser with position to put him away. Spike on the ground, a 5v3. KRU in a position to pull off what everyone thought was unthinkable. What everyone thought was impossible.
It should have been.
The first few series, sure. Against a weak MIBR, why not? But against Cloud9.
Here.
An outrageous possibility, but Jake can snatch them back, and he can do it on his own. He gets 2 there. Zelsis with another counter, and now Pit invested. Bit of room for Rooney to work. Maybe Nags can make a play. Of course, it's going to be Nags. He's gotten it down to a 2v2. It's still up. Nags with another.
No way. The lockdown going to be invested.
Rooney has to push this. He's got to go. Well considered by Nags. Tuckto clears it out. There's the swing. He's gotten it down to 1v1.
Oh, no.
Where's Davies? Just on the other side, and he delivers the shot. Turns out this David has a stone and a slingshot of his own. KRU keep their glass slipper and take down Cloud9.
To the grand finals they go. A massive upset at the most unexpected of times. How have they gotten this run off? Regardless of what happens now, yeah, there's only one thing that you can